Hey everyone, Charlie Morgan here, and this is one more for the business owners. I recently released a free course as a funnel, and it's doing really well. I've got nearly 30,000 people in there. Clients are getting results already. It's great. We're getting lots of upsells. It's going really well. But one question I keep getting from people in my mastermind, across my clientele, is why did I not make the course seem like a shiny object? Because, I had this debate with myself where it's called Imperium Academy. And what it basically is it's sort of an evergreen program that teaches the principles of business, specifically on how to start an agency, coaching, and consulting business. So it doesn't explain how to start a marketing agency. It doesn't explain how to start an AI automation agency. It doesn't explain how to become a copywriter. It doesn't explain dropshipping. It doesn't explain any specific business model. Because, well, this is the thing, is it does. Because what I've realized is that really I think the three business models that I have faith in having longevity through the AI revolution, everything, are the done-for-you agency model, the one-on-one coaching model, and the consulting sort of info-esque high-ticket course model. And what you've got to realize is like the AI automation agency model, for example, SMMA, dropshipping, Amazon FBA, these are vehicles that sit on top of the model. So the agency business model, which is doing a service for someone in exchange for money, is always going to be around. But what happens with these models is you'll get trends where, it used to be that, funnel building was a massive sort of agency trend. Then it was SMMA, now it's automation agencies. And then, before then it might have been recruitment agencies or whatever. And so what I've done and what I've specifically engineered the free program to do is to be sort of trend proof. And so if I had made it like a shiny object, like in how to start an AI automation agency, I'd have 3-4 times the people in there right now, and it would be this massive, it would have grown way faster with the shiny object syndrome. But what I want to do is have this free course serve me and deliver me clients and deliver me authority and audience and trust from the market for the next 5 to 10 years. And so the only way for that to really happen and the only way for that to really work is for me to not have to recreate it constantly and for me to teach the truth. And here's the best part about this. I'm the first person to make a really, really good free course. Like, you've seen free courses before, but not as good as Imperium Academy. I'm talking 80 hours of content. It took me a year to build. And, one of the most repeatable feedback signs we get from people who are going through it is this thing's insane. How the hell is this free? But here's the cool thing. What I know is that with the agency, coach, and consulting business models, not like agent, not SMMA, not AAA, not one-on-one, not info, like with these models, with the sort of core components of business, is that there are first principles. There are fundamental truths to these things that do not change. Right? So you've got things like the value gap, like the current situation, desired situation. We're all familiar with that. You've got things like cause and effect. You've got things like second order consequences. You've got things like silence on a sales call. You've got things like volume for appointment booking, like first principles, fundamental truths that do not change. And what I've been able to do is I spent a year defining these truths and getting them out to people. And what happens when you do that is you now own the truth. And Hormozi did this with offers. So Hormozi did this really well with the offering thing, where any sort of Hormozi really broke down the first principles of offer construction for, wide commercial interest. And by doing so, anyone that now makes training on offers, if they want to teach it properly, they have to start with the truth, with the fundamentals. But because Hormozi was the first to commoditize the truth, anyone who creates offer training kind of is copying Alex Hormozi by definition, although they're not copying him, they're just copying the truth, which everyone has to copy, and that makes sense. And so what this allows me to do with Imperium Academy is I kind of have like a copyright on the truth. And what that means is anyone now who wants to start a course on how to start an agency or how to start a consulting business or how to get clients or this, that, or the other, they kind of have to model off Imperium Academy because A, it's the best thing, which means that, if you want to make something that competes with the best thing, you have to sort of look at the best thing, like Android and Apple, for example. But B, it's like I kind of own that thing now, if that makes sense. Because now if someone wants to if you see someone popping up with a new course about how to start an agency and it's talking about all the fundamentals of starting an agency, it's like I've already popularized those, which means that anyone that copies me is just seen as a copycat and just sort of fades into the darkness, if that makes sense. And so, this is why I didn't want to make it a shiny object. I didn't want to be like, hey guys, here's how to start an AI automation agency, because I can tell you that Probably in 2 years, the AI automation agency boom will be over and it will be replaced by something else, something brand new we can't even predict yet. Because like the AI automation agency thing, for example, what's going to happen is all these tools that you sell to that you sell to businesses to replace their receptionists, or, you know, all these tools that you, NAM, make.com, clay.com, all these things that, you know, you can automate for your clients, those tools will get so good that you can just voice prompt them and they'll just deliver exactly what you need. Like look at Lovable, like the website, the AI tool that helps you build like custom websites in seconds. All you've got to do is just type it in and now you have a website that 10 years ago you would have probably had to spend like 50 grand for a web development agency to build for you. So this is the thing, is like trends come and go, truths stay the same. And if you can root yourself, you can figure out what the truths are in your industry and you can root yourself in those truths and make them free and make them widely available to everyone in your industry, you now kind of own that. No one can really beat you or compete with you. And you can now garner so much trust and authority in the market. And then you can basically cash in on that trust. So you can sell the people that are in your free course, you can sell them upsell products, you can sell them low ticket stuff, you can sell them subscriptions, you can sell them done for you solutions, you can sell them high ticket stuff, you can sell them events, you can sell them challenges, you can sell them masterminds. There's no end to the list of things that you can sell people. But in order to sell to them, they kind of have to trust you. And so what's happening with the market now is we are moving towards a trust market. And the reason that that's happening and the reason that trust is so important now is because the market right now for this internet marketing thing has gone from people being greedy to people being fearful. And that's an important distinction to understand. It used to be the case that people would buy courses and want things because they wanted to get something else. They wanted to buy a Lamborghini. They wanted to buy, and that's still kind of the case. But now a lot of people are getting into business and getting into, you know, starting agencies because they're afraid of what happens if they don't. It's less about the upside for people now and way more about mitigating the downside, because a lot of people are like, shit, if I don't get my shit together now, I'm in some real trouble because AI is going to replace me and this, that, and the other. And so we've transitioned from greed to fear. And because of that, people like fear markets work like people. The people who make the most money in fear markets are the people who gain the most trust. Because at the end of the day, when you're afraid, like, what do you want to be shepherded? You want to be shepherded by someone that you trust when you're afraid. When you're greedy, you're blind. You don't give a shit. You trust everyone and anyone who has anything that you want. But when you're fearful, you become a lot more cognizant of your decisions. You become a lot more aware of the mistakes that you could make. And also, because your money is so much more precious to you, because you don't know if you're going to make any more back, you're significantly more careful with who you spend your money with. And so that's why I did the free thing. And that's why I made Imperium Academy completely free, as opposed to charging $1,000 for it, because I can now make a hideous amount more money. We've got 400 to 500 people per day joining Imperium Academy. And, you know, we're only just getting started. This is before any network effects kick in. This is before any influencers get on board. This is before we scale ads into it. This is just before I even start making proper YouTube videos about it, you know, and that number's only going to get bigger. And if I can get 1,000 people a day joining that thing, 365 days a year, in the next couple of years, I'm going to have like a million person community. And I'm going to have the entire market in my group trusting me and believing that my judgment and that my guidance is the all-seeing, all-being level of truth. That's power. And I will make less money in the short term because of this. I could have sold the academy for $997 or $297 a month and, you know, made another $5-6 million, you know, over the course of 2026. But instead, I'm opting for the longer term play. And, you know, I'm still not quite prepared for the gravity of what that even looks like or means, and I'm still not able to predict it. And it could go completely wrong and my plan could fall apart entirely. But I don't think so, because look at Hormozy's $100 million launch. You know, he did everything for free, everything right for a couple of years, and then he cashed it all in and made $100 million one day. And I think there's a lot of merit in that. So yeah, think about that. If you're a business owner, you're in this space, you want to capitalize, like, that's my strategy. It's available to you. Do with it what you will. If you want to check out the academy, by the way, there's a link in the description you can click. It's free. If you want to start a business or start an agency, consultant business, whatever, there's a 6-week program, financial freedom, all the bells and whistles attached. It's fun. It's great. Buy it. There's nothing to buy. Anyway, see you later.